we will be touching on many kinds of fresh food that we can grow, given the constraints. We'll definitely be touching on how to do very high quality sprouts, how to do microgreens, how to do herbs like mint and coriander, uh, and many things. I mean, we will be looking at very innovative, as in our country we would say, jugad, technologies, which actually are will help us innovate how to do home gardening without soil, without seeds, without any of the usual ingredients and inputs associated with home gardening. So I believe this will be quite innovative. And all of you will enjoy. And especially one of the things that I would like to focus on is the fact that when we are exposing our families to the techniques that I will be unveiling to you over the series, you will have a lot of community participation, family participation, especially if you have children and grandchildren at the house. You know how difficult it is to keep them engaged in these days. And these are wonderful opportunities for your children, not only to get engaged, but also benefit, understand how nature works, how food is grown, and to have that satisfaction of actually growing food on your own kitchen sill or your balcony. I mean, I believe these are going to be the exciting aspects of this particular series.
That's really wonderful, because I feel that participants will, what they'll gain will not be just for this lockdown period. In fact, it will enhance their, this aspect of nutritive food and growing the passion for growing their own food within their homes. That will go on for their lifetime, and it will be a beautiful knowledge which we all can, carry forward. What I just really wanted to ask you more, what is your experience of this lockdown period? How have you been helping at home, and how, but I'm certain that you must be going through some new experiences.
Yes, I believe every man in this country is getting a new exposure. And basically, this series also got generated, apart from the fact that you wanted to do this series. My own inputs for these series started because of the lockdown. And because I found that I was doing things which I normally wouldn't do, and cutting vegetables was one of them. And while cutting vegetables, I discovered that there is so much you can do with what you throw away. And that started to really inspire me to put together a series of episodes on home gardening during the corona lockdown.
How fascinating, and how it's really wonderful that you are helping at home and you're also enjoying it, because I believe many people out there, whether it's men or children, they might not be enjoying, they might be craving. But if this whole period of lockdown, if we can positive, if we can make it a learning period, if we can really shift a paradigm, and we can just start seeing the positive side, and creating new interest, and also having new hobbies, and also learning to do a lot of things. In fact, we are becoming more independent, and we are becoming more creative. So I'm really happy that these are the things the way you've been helping, and how we can really grow more things with whatever vegetables we are getting. So it's really wonderful. And I will also, my participants here, they can also, if they want to send some questions, they can post it here. We can take up some of the questions which are possible to show in this in the Zoom call. And Prabhakar ji, what can they expect in the upcoming episodes? You have already told some of the things that you would be telling them, but what other things you have in store? Because I know you have phenomenal knowledge about organic farming, natural farming, and generally, you have a lot of idea about vegetables. You have so many TED talks on only on vegetable growing, and how you have thousands of varieties of vegetables, and you are growing vegetables which have been almost extinct in India, which were grown by our forefathers, which were eaten by our forefathers, and they help amazing amount of nutrition, with very variety of nutrition, variety of colors, variety of shapes. So can you tell a little bit more about how you have been preserving these seeds?
Yes, but I think what we also need to do is there are a lot of, I can see a lot of expectation amongst our participants. So why don't we just deep dive into today's episode, and we could perhaps come back where we would talk a little more about the work that I do. But let's kickstart this with one of the vegetables that I found was being used on a daily basis is the onion. And onions are so extensively used in our cuisine. And what I found was that every day I have to cut onions. And that's like one of the givens in the
That's one of the
job that I
terrible
do.
things I can't do.
Yes. Luckily for me, I don't actually have tears in my eyes when I cut onions. For some weird reason, I don't.
Wow.
But the way we actually work with an onion is basically this top portion here. Now, this is what we actually like to first cut. We take this off. And what do we do with it? What would we generally do with it? The second is this portion.
We just throw it.
Exactly,
throw it off.
exactly. And then we've got this portion, which also we throw off. But this got me actually thinking, and I said to myself that, this is a very interesting piece of the plant. And, in our tissue culture lab, we are actually working, Gurudev has asked us to work on mass producing saffron plants, and saffron actually comes like an onion. It comes as a bulb. And then the bulb, in the tissue culture lab, we actually cut like this, the bulb. And from this portion, we actually grow many plants. Hundreds of plants actually we can grow. And so when I was cutting and throwing this piece of onion, I said, why am I throwing this away? Is it not something that I can work with? And
really?
Yeah, you would be surprised, Savita ji. You can actually grow onions from this. What we throw away every day,
Amazing.
we can actually harvest. And the way I will teach you how to do it is you need so little input. You need so little input. This can be done even now in your balcony and in your terrace, or even your kitchen windowsill. Yeah. So what we do is we basically take this piece, and then just for this to we take a bowl, a clear bowl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is very small, and if I put this into the bowl, it will sort of go right in, isn't it? So Jugaad technology, what does an Indian do? He very quickly devices. So what I've done is I've basically now poked toothpicks on what I have cut. Yeah. So that now if I keep it into this bowl, it actually will sit like that. Okay. And what I'm going to actually teach you here is I'm going to teach you how to do hydroponics. Yeah, everybody has heard this term hydroponics and high-tech engineering, high-tech agriculture and all that. I will show you at home how you can do hydroponics using this Jugaad technology.
Really? I thought these words are very, very high-tech and actually not for us,
Yeah, but then, all things change. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm just going to take some water, and I'm going to pour the water just enough for the bottom of the roots to touch. So if I bring this here closer, you can see the top is very much dry, but the water is just touching the roots. And I had also done this with smaller containers where the onion could actually sit right on top. I will show you that as well. But this Jugaad technology with toothpicks work because the air gets mixed with the water. And in hydroponics, it's very important to have the air getting mixed with the water. So what we will now do is, having shown you how to get this started, as I said, you will take that piece of onion, which is cut, you're going to throw it away. You're going to stick 4 pieces of toothpicks into it, get a Jugaad technology like this, and then put it into the container as I showed you. What I have done is I've captured one of my earlier videos, which was actually done much earlier, but I had worked on this. And I will show you that video by screen share. So I will share my screen with you so that you can see that. And we will speak about it as we go along. So what you're seeing here is 4 containers, and it's the same thing. We have the onion pieces, and just in 3 days, Savita ji, what happens? You know, it's the same thing. There, the containers were smaller so that the onions could actually sit on it. You can already see in 3 roots the white roots that are coming up. You can see those roots very clearly. Yeah. Again, you can see, you can see here, the white ones are the roots here. Yeah?
I can see.
So this is just 3 days work, okay? And like I said, here the onion completely covers the cup. And in a way, what I showed you earlier with the toothpicks is a better idea, because that allows the onions to sort of, the water to sort of get the oxygen as well. Yeah? These were, again, another thing that I had done. I had actually done with French onions, the shallots. And that's another thing that we perhaps will do in another episode. Now you will see that in another 2 days' time, we're totally looking at about 5 days now. The roots are so distinct. You can see the roots very clearly. You have ample amount of roots coming up. You can see this, yes. Yeah, a lot of roots. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. And this is just 5 days. So the kids at home get very excited because they are seeing something that is so spot on. You know, they're so enjoying what's happening, and they're sort of seeing the whole thing right in front of their eyes, the transformation happening. So it's a very thrilling experience. And in another 3 days, they are actually ready for us to take it out of the pot. And now what you can see, Savita ji, is you can see the shoots coming out. This is the green shoots that are coming out. Yeah, and this is just 1 week. You can see here shoots nicely coming out of what we throw away into our garbage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, actual plants coming out here. So this is, again, is very exciting for the children. They would love this kind of stuff. Once we reach this stage, what we can then do is sort of go to any pot that we have, put in a little bit of, you know, if you have home compost, that's fine, or even the existing soil that's there in one of the pots where already you're growing something. I mean, I'm sure you have any few plants, because onion is such a shallow rooted plant, you don't really need any depth, you know. So we just put a little bit of cocoa peat. If you have, that's great. Otherwise, use coconut fiber. You can use uh, anything. I mean, just to give it a bed to sort of start it, just water it a bit. And once you have that watered, place your sprouted onion pieces like that, and just cover them up with a bit of soil. And then what you do is you wait, you water it, and you wait, and the miracle happens. These shoots start to grow. As you can see now, there are a number of plants that have started to grow from there. Even this one, which
Oh
hardly had
wow.
any shoot in it, is now. So all the plants which were planted, they are all set to become, to actually become onion plants and give you a fresh set of onions. So this is just in 2 weeks what you actually have in your bed. Very beautiful plants. And in a matter of about
Wow.
50 to 60 days, you get, I mean, even in about 30 days, you get these things which you can use as onion soup. And once the shoots start to fall, that is when the new onions are ready. And just look how beautiful these onions are, all ready to pick, ready to harvest. And and that's the beauty. I mean, this is for your children to really enjoy. I mean, actually growing an onion from what you thought was throwaway waste.
So great, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is something so interesting. And this is something like all of us can do, and without even buying seeds, we can do.
Exactly, exactly. This is something that you would have been throwing out on a daily basis. And this is
And
just,
we don't need to go out. We can't complain that we don't have seeds. We are eating onions every day, and we have from the waste itself, we are growing more onions. That's tremendous.
yeah.
So this is something we should all know actually. This is something that, every householder should be doing.
Yeah. And Savita ji, it's like this. I mean, if there's always a time in the kitchen when you run out of onions. And when you know that in your pots,
Yeah.
somewhere in your pots, in your balcony or wherever, you've got a stock of nature's fresh supply. It's very, very comforting. I trust me, because onions are like the basis of Indian cooking, So it's always nice to have fresh
Yeah.
onions always available to pick. And in our next episode, what I'm going to show you is how we can grow ultra fresh coriander at home. And this we
Oh,
can do
great.
even without soil. Even you don't even need a pot for that. And I will show
Oh,
you
wow.
how every day you can pick absolutely fresh coriander. You will never buy coriander once you start growing your own coriander at home. I guarantee you that.
Oh wow, we are already looking forward to the next episode, Prabhakar ji. And let me tell you, some questions are coming, and people also want to know how to make their pots, how to make the soil ready for their pots. So how that also, we need to teach them. Some of them just haven't done any gardening, but they have some soil, they have some compost. So we need to tell them how to prepare soil for new plants, new pots, wherever they pot. So sometime we can take it up, and also some of them want to learn about composting. So these are certain things which, in the new fresh episodes, we'll be taking on. If we have time, but then there's so much to learn, and we're looking forward to the next episode, which is we'll learn how to grow coriander at home.
Yes.
Thank you, Prabhakar.
Thank you
Thank you
all
for
for joining in, and I hope you all enjoyed this. So please stay with us for the next notification. Possibly next week, we will have the episode on how to grow corianders during lockdown, Corona lockdown. Thank you, one and all. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Bye. Jai.